Hi there, my name is Nina Goradia. Today I want to talk about stepping out of the prison of your conditioning right now. So many of us have spent years working through conditioning, trying to unwind the unhelpful conditioning, possibly trying to program ourselves in some sort of positive way with positive conditioning. And while these things can be very helpful, many people have expressed a concern. Why does it feel like I have to do this forever? Why does it feel like I'm always in therapy or I'm always trying to be aware of some new conditioning that's getting laid down from new beliefs and new behaviors and new feelings? And this is a really valid concern because whenever we are working on the ego or simply the psychological aspect of us, the personality, it often can be a never-ending thing if that's all that we think we are. So it's really important that we do this work because we do want to have a personality that is for us in life, that is not sabotaging us. But simultaneously, it's really important to cultivate the space around this conditioning, the space between the thoughts, the presence, the awareness, the spaciousness that can then kind of hold a parenting sort of presence for this ego identity, for the thoughts, for the feelings. So while this is really important to do this work, sometimes we just need a break right now, right? We want relief right now. I want to show you a method where you can step out of the prison. I cannot guarantee this is going to work for everyone the first time, but please continue to try if it doesn't for you, because when I've done this with my clients, I've gotten it to work eventually with every single person that I've tried this with. And you can experience what it's like to just step out of the prison of this conditioning in this moment. So it's very simple. What you do is you need to interrupt your thinking. And I know a lot of people are probably like, that's all I've been trying to do for years. I've been trying to do it. Well, I want to show you exactly where to place your attention. So the thoughts are being fed basically by our attention. Attention is what feeds whatever it is we place that attention on. So many of you may have heard the expression, wherever our attention goes, our energy flows. That's exactly right. So if you're putting your attention on thoughts, you're focusing on them, they're what's in your awareness most of the time, and they're growing in power and strength. So what I want you to try to do is switch your focus, move your attention to your body sensations or your surroundings. So it's going to be your visual and or auditory fields. So sight and sound. There are a few different ways you can do this. You can practice one of these at a time. So in this moment, I'm going to put my attention from my thoughts. I'm going to shift it to whatever I hear. And there's no sound right now, so I'm hearing silence. I'm placing all my attention on the silence. Immediately, I'm at peace because mind activity, ego activity is what takes away our peace. Now, it's not any old mind activity that can do this. If I'm calculating the tip for the waitress, that's not going to take away my peace. That's the aspect of my mind, this tool I have, that's actually helpful for me. I go in there, I use it when I need to, and I come right back out to my body or my surroundings when I'm not using it. But if it's mind activity that is conditioned by my ego, identity, psychological thoughts, these kind of things, it's going to take away my peace, especially if I focus on it. So if I'm having trouble stopping the thoughts or disproving the thoughts, feeling the peace in this moment, I can practice this technique, just shifting the attention. So you can start with sound, like what we just did, but you can also do sight. So your intention is, I want to interrupt this thought in my head. I do not even want it to finish in my head. I want to stop it by any means necessary. What do? You just shift your attention immediately. You look at something, look at every little piece of texture, color, really look. So you're not looking at it while you're still paying attention to your thoughts, because of course you can do that. You can divide your attention. You give it your full attention with the intention of not wanting to focus on thoughts. not having any interest in thoughts, not even caring what the thought says. So you shift and then you see what happens. So some of you may be more visual, and that might be what works for you. So the other is focusing to a body sensation. I recommend not focusing on the body sensations that we feel a lot of our core stressful reactions, our sympathetic responses. So probably don't focus on your head or your jaw, your throat, chest, stomach. What I would say is focus on something where you usually don't feel any discomfort. Maybe it's the palms of your hand, you place them together. Maybe it's your feet on the ground. Maybe it's the legs. These are very common places that feel comfortable for many people. Somewhere it's not a stressful place for you. And when you shift your attention there, I want you to do so with equanimity. So you're not judging the sensations. If you're not focused on the thoughts in your head, you're going to be in equanimity. You're not going to be judging the sensations. It's only the mind activity that's going to be able to judge. So you place your attention here with the full intention of you don't care what the thought was going to say. You're not going to chase it to the next thought. You're not even going to let the first thought finish. You just bring it to the feet or to the hands, and you just feel, and you're just here. You're just present right now, and your attention is on sensations. So I've talked about 3 sensory fields here. So touch, sight, sound. You can do the same thing with taste or smell. Of course, those are going to be limited only to when you're eating or if there's some sort of aromatherapy, but these other 3, they're always accessible to most people. So it doesn't have to be a particular one. You can pick your favorite go-to, whichever one is most accessible, effective for you, or you could try to do a combination of all 3, where you're kind of opening the attention and you're dividing it and trying to place your attention on multiple sensory places simultaneously. I'm going to go into future videos about this, where we'll talk about non-dual awareness, how to do that. But I want you to just start with the interruption of thoughts and see how this goes for you. I want to make a disclaimer here that I'm not endorsing that we always do this. I don't think we should just ignore our conditioning and then we just keep on interrupting and keep on interrupting. While that can be an effective way to dissolve ego, because we're no longer feeding it when we interrupt, oftentimes if we haven't healed that ego, if we haven't learned how to flip this negative self-image to a positive self-image, there are many ways that the ego can then sabotage this progress. And so it's just something that I want you to learn how to do, but please do not think this is the end all be all of this work. This is one of many tools that can be in your toolbox for, first of all, just having the experience, what it's like outside of your conditioning, getting those moments of peace when you need it, cultivating this as a tool, learning how to stay in that place of being aware of sensations rather than thinking, while at other times simultaneously working through some of these ego wounds, some of these traumas. And so we can start to harmonize the ego and have it be our friend before we work on complete ego dissolution. Give it a try. Let me know how it goes in the comments below. I really hope it helps. Take care.